Welcome back, traveler. I am Gladys, guiding learned alternative design inspired systems. Are you willing to spend time with the people of the future in the year 2040? Welcome back to the year 2040. On this day, the Community Health Justice Cadets reconnect with the history of displacement in Providence.
Hello. Welcome. Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Today, we'll talk about healthy housing and social cohesion. And we will start the conversation by talking about fire. Innovations in fire alarms and sprinkler systems, quality of life building standards, compliance support for residents and building owners. These are measures that have made structural fires a rare occurrence in the city today. But fires were trending down even in 2019. There used to be a fire department that would organize the emergency medical services. Will you show that assessment, Gladys?
Showing Providence Fire Department data for year 2019.
Thank you. So in year 2019, 48.9% of calls for service for Providence Fire Department were for advanced life support. 19% were basic life support calls, like, for example, giving CPR for respiratory distress. If we add in collisions and other calls that required advanced life support responses, help me out, Gladys, what is that?
Composing.
Yep, see, a curly hair short of 74% of calls to the Providence Fire Department in 2019 were for emergency medical services. So Gladys, remind me, how many rescue units?
7 units staffed with a 16% of Providence Fire Department's daily minimum staffing.
And how much of the workload did they carry?
Composing.
That's what I thought. See there? 16% of the workforce was lifting 40% of the daily workload. And a collective bargaining agreement was in place forcing the city to keep jobs that didn't support the emergent needs of the neighborhoods. That's why today we focus on protective health. Gladys, will you talk us through some of the history?
The foundation of protective health is rooted in community-centered preventative programs. Prevention First health services were focused on tertiary prevention or softening impact of ongoing health issues. Pilots were designed to transport frequent users of 911 services to medical services, but this was failing to prevent health inequities. The City of Providence has invested in protective health justice, a collaborative model that understands that health inequity, racial injustice, and poverty are cut from the same cloth. This concept weaves together whole body wellness, economic opportunity, food sovereignty, healthy air, pollution-free land, energy democracy, and equitable access to health care as a tapestry of support for residents before health and medical interventions become necessary.
A significant indicator of wellness is where you live. Now imagine you feel safe in your home, safe enough to sleep, but you abruptly wake up to see it all disintegrate. Gladys, take us to a street named Heaven in the year 2020, please. Remember, everyone? Watch, listen, but most of all, feel.
Hey, did you hear about this? A domestic violence survivor seeking help was instead assaulted by the police.
Damn, that's awful.
2 residents drive through the neighborhood Winter night. They catch from the side-eye corner. Flames conquering porch.
Fire!
Oh my God, pull over, pull over!
Auda calls 911.
Hello? Yeah, there's a house fire burning. You'll take 20 minutes to get here, but that's too long to wait. Get here as soon as possible. We are not waiting. How many times have we been forgotten?
Come out, come out!
What the hell is your problem?
Get out of there!
Your house is on fire.
Are you serious?
It's taken over the whole front. You gotta go through the back.
Auda and Nandra lead the people to safety. The people watch their home burn from the other side of the street. One of the survivors takes a step forward and speaks.
I thought the world would be ending today. It's hunger taking my will away. No more words left to be said, hopes and dreams rendered ash and smoke. My child's secure fantasy is melting away. Then I heard someone calling my name, waking me from the depths of the flames. I realized it was my community along for the game, and I thought the world would be ending today. It's hunger taking my will away. On this sidewalk, my own burning hell, I realized as I stared at the flames, I'm still standing on your streets, Providence.
Hey, you know I don't be using this, but we need you to get the word out. There was a house fire and the family and their children need your help. They lost everything but each other. They need places to stay, food, and clothes. It's been about an hour since we saw the fire and called 911. The fire department showed up about 20 minutes later. They didn't think to offer the families a blanket or even a seat in their warm truck while they waited for the Red Cross. When I saw that, I thought, who could let this happen? Who is going to help these 3 families that watched their home turn into ash, knowing the moment there was nothing they can do to stop it? I asked myself in that moment, who is going to help them? Because it's not the fire department's job to keep those families housed and healthy after a rescue. The EMS ain't resourced to dress the exposed. I knew the answer before I asked the question, but I was afraid of the response. So I'm asking you the question that I asked myself. Who is going to help this family restore and transform? Cash App link in bio. Hashtag Housefire on Heaven.
Community is what happens when hope is fading. We are all we got, and we got everything. Our backs are heavy with burden. We're burning. Go fund my yearning. Our streets are live wires. Watch your step or catch on fire. Who remembers the 9 people on Heaven Street? After the fire is put out and there's no one left to help you out, why must we always be resilient? Building houses out of ashes, cash apping. The next day we can feel the dry air, our cross to bear. Restarting. What do we gain after a loss? Where do our dreams go? Can hope still come through these shattered windows? I live on a street named Heaven.
Take time to get into your bodies. Remember to breathe, Dontra. So who wants to start us off? One word. How are you feeling?
Confused.
Grateful.
Lost. Angry.
Okay, Dontrell, let's unpack that. What's confusing?
Was this story real?
The Gladys frame is a wealth of information, including call archives, news reports, interviews collected over the past century.
I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what that means. Was it real or not?
It's a made-up story. It's an illusion. A scary story from a neoliberal past. Respectfully, though, I think it's a distraction. House fires have been prevented by housing rights advocates and anti-displacement. So today, and even back then, fires weren't systemically creating displacement.
Thank you for saying that, Javon. That's why we're here, though. Right? Going slow to go far. Part of what you said, Javon, was right. But respectfully, part of it misses the point. The story is real. It's a story that has happened in many ways across time. The simulation is neither an illusion or a distraction. It is based on events centering on the most impacted residents. Do you wish to unpack your anger, Sheena?
Shaking, I'm so upset. I mean, I can see the people and I want to help them. You know, I want to hold them, you know, let them know that everything's going to be okay, and I can't even touch them. I can only feel them. You know, when I was a little girl, my aunt's family lost everything. And everything they had was in that apartment. And I remember they had to move into my grandmother's house. And it was so tough. And I remember that we even had to drive down to their house and have them sit in the car just so they could stay warm. Because it was dumb brick in winter, and I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. It's the middle of the night. But it was exactly like that simulation. And it was real.
We needed to hear that, Sheena. Janice, let's hear from you. What are the differences in approach from what it used to be?
Did they have nurses and community captains coordinating health justice workers?
No, none of that.
In 2020, they were still on the old computer-aided system of data collection. They were in the process of transitioning from Scantron sheets to tablets.
I didn't realize how limited their approach was to save lives back then. It didn't seem that long ago. Today, fire prevention, rescue and relief work with community health workers and the Urgent Housing Response Agency to support people's basic needs. And we can prevent structural fires now with investments in resident-controlled housing. I'm just grateful these residents came to help in the moment with the people in the house. I don't know how much of that really happens, but their approach to support with the mutual aid is powerful.
Exactly, Janice. And thank you for saying that. Because without these programs being offered by the Urgent Housing Agency, I mean, a crisis like that can and will disrupt a person's life. I mean, the trauma and the stress experiencing houselessness is deep, and it even manifests within our own bodies.
Thank you, Sheena. Gladys, well, I need your help. We can create and strengthen neural pathways that tell our bodies to relax. When we create environments and ways of being that help us feel at ease, this tells our brains and bodies that we're safe. This creates homeostasis, or a state of balance where our physiological systems are not stressed and can operate at their best. We often can't control our outer environment, but we can develop a practice of grounding ourselves to cultivate a sense of peace and presence. This signals to our brains and bodies to heal by allowing stress and trauma to move through our bodies, rather than letting the emotional response get stuck in your body. When this emotional energy is stuck, it keeps our systems in a stressed or traumatized state of being. We can build new neural pathways that signal our bodies to go into homeostasis. This is another protective health practice that works on multiple levels, from our environment to our own cells.